And now I'd like to introduce World Eye Cancer Hope's child life specialist, Morgan Livingstone. Morgan lives in Toronto and is an absolute fierce badass, excuse my language. Morgan has the biggest heart of anyone I've ever met and has done child life work around the world, in North America and in Africa, and trained the first 2 child life specialists in the entire country of Kenya. And Morgan is also someone I enjoy going to Disneyland with, along with her children, and has also become a very good friend. And so it's my pleasure to introduce, for a brief overview of child life, and then we will break out into our child life session, Morgan Livingstone.
Really is about a commitment to coping. This is a big deal for me because I feel like we've talked a lot about child life and the benefits of child life for everyone, but we haven't made a commitment as a group to children's coping. So let's start with this description, the description of the child life profession and our goals for patients and families. In my role as a child life specialist, a passionate person regarding support and coping needs of children and families facing retinoblastoma, my job is really helping everyone be and feel successful, or as successful as possible, during their retinoblastoma medical experience, and well prepared with an individualized coping plan from the start. So here's a description of the profession. The goal of a certified child life specialist is to reduce the stress and anxiety children and families experience related to healthcare and hospitalization. Child life specialists are experts in child development. They promote effective coping through education, preparation, support during procedures, and most importantly, play. Now, all of that sounds logical and reasonable, but yet it's the one magical and amazing ingredient that's missing in most children with retinoblastoma's medical experience. So let's start with masks and eye drops. 2 highly stress potential events that happen regularly, routinely, and repeatedly to children with retinoblastoma. For years, many of these children have to undergo different types of sedation over lengthy periods of time. On the left side of the screen, you have a picture of 11-month-old Audrey happily chomping on a sedation mask. And on the right side of the screen, we have 2.5-year-old Lincoln giving eye drops to my medical play doll, Sunny, at one of our group child life sessions during one of our retinoblastoma meetings. Through explorative play and repeated practice and play in a non-threatening way, both children are coping with potentially stressful aspects of their regular routine retinoblastoma treatments. This type of play has a normalizing quality. It allows children to practice their coping strategies and create a coping plan. All of this can have an incredibly positive impact on children's ability to cope with potentially painful and stressful experiences. But we don't do this consistently for our littlest friends with retinoblastoma. And I'm giving this presentation virtually, but I would much rather be playing with all of you and the children in person, often and regularly. That's the key. We need to be playing regularly with children with retinoblastoma regarding the things that they need to be and feel successful during the course of their treatment. Practice and play is really how children learn. As soon as our babies are born, we're teaching them. We teach them cumulatively, a little bit each day, and we are very patient as we teach them. But sadly, coping with medical experiences is and can be overwhelming for parents, children, and families, and we forget to tackle coping like we teach other life skills. For a child diagnosed with retinoblastoma, we need to provide daily coping strategies. We need to provide learning and skill building, just like we would for every other aspect of their social and developmental lives. For babies, that might look like practicing comfort positions. For babies, they need to know how to feel comfortable during different assessments and different procedures. So comfort positions and learning to stroke around the eyes and areas of the face where they would have repeated touch helps to increase positive touch and normalize people touching this area. Singing a song can help with signaling relaxation and calm. A certain stroke or a tap that indicates I'm here for you from a parent might be all the reassurance a child needs to calmly go through a procedure. All of these benefit babies and their coping. But for bigger kids, toddlers especially, it's nice to offer play-based learning and the exploration of medical materials often and as a part of their regular daily play to promote familiarity and mastery with these materials. Offer anything you can possibly imagine, practicing on stuffed animals, dolls and action figures. Offer appropriate choices too, such as, would you like to sit on the floor? Or would you like to sit in this chair for your eye drops? Or in my lap? So when I say we teach children every day and all the time from the moment they're born, think about toileting, crawling, babbling and talking, feeding, drinking from a cup, teaching sign language, sports and activities. All of these we embrace and we teach children every day. So why not coping? In this lovely picture on this slide, we have one of my little friends at one of our most recent child life sessions before COVID, and he's actually practicing MRIs and laying still and listening to the sound of an MRI that we created using a cardboard box in a play tunnel. Our medical play doll is sitting calmly and quietly in a comfort position in her MRI experience, and he's guiding her with supportive language so that she can cope and be and feel successful during her MRI. This type of play helps him feel comfortable and confident with his MRI experience because he's playing it out right now. So when I say using encouraging phrases, it really helps parents and medical team members if they can practice these simple statements, like giving honest and realistic choices during procedures. You may sit on mommy's lap, or you may sit on the chair. All of these simple choices are not allowing a child to get out of the procedure, but instead helping them to be successful by choosing their preferred method for that procedure. So all of this adds up to coping. The next statement I've included here is, it is time for your eye drops, not, do you want your eye drops now? I don't know many people that would like an experience that is particularly uncomfortable for them. So instead of offering, would you like your eye drops? It's time for eye drops is the right phrase that we want to use. We also don't want to minimize the child's experience. Making a statement like focus on staying really still and practice blowing your bubbles is a great way to say be still, but it's a positive approach using positive language, and you're giving them the coping strategy that they may have selected, which in this case is deep breathing, or we call it blowing bubbles. Instead of saying you need to stay still for a few seconds, which isn't helpful to a child. Always offer choices too. Allowing choices so that the child is in control as much as possible over their body usually means you can ask for preferences. Would you like to watch the procedure or not watch? Would you like to lie down for this procedure or for your eye drops, or would you like to sit up? Do you want to hold a parent's hand or not? Would you like to hold a cuddly toy or not? And sometimes they can even get to pick the color of their Band-Aid or the patch for their eye. But all of these simple strategies add up again to coping. So that gets us to our most important slide here. I want to ask all of these participants from all around the world in all of their different roles to make a commitment to helping children with retinoblastoma cope better. We can do this as a team. A child life specialist is just one of the many people that are involved in a child's life during their medical experience. And I provide lots of wonderful and amazing things, but all of this coping support needs to happen at diagnosis immediately for the whole family, and offer play regularly. Play helps children of all ages, even babies, understand what they're going through and how to improve their experience and the different types of coping strategies that they need to implement to be and feel successful during that medical experience. And offer this play daily and include those encouraging phrases. Helping kids cope often means helping remind them that they can cope and they can do this. And that's part of the beauty of our commitment to coping as a team now, is we can do this together. There's an image here on the left, or sorry, on my right side of the page that just has a bit of the statements about what child life specialists do and how we offer support to children and families. From the top, moving clockwise, support during procedures, therapeutic play activities, medical play. There's that all important play, my friends. Next is parent education and support, support for brothers and sisters, and medical preparation and pre-surgery or pre-procedural support for children that are having frequent procedures. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, guys, and I'm going to turn my video back on so you can see my beautiful face. And so I can tell you that the shirt that I'm wearing today has a very special statement on the back, and I've written it down because I don't have eyes in the back of my head. And it says on the back of my shirt, when little people are overwhelmed by big emotions, it is our job to share our calm, not to join in on their chaos. And I beg all of you, I plead with all of you to join me in this commitment to coping for us to change the way forward for children with retinoblastoma and ensuring that they have all that they need to cope. Thank you very much for having me, Marissa. And I hope I've inspired all of you to see the simplicity. If we can teach a child to pick up a spoon or sip from a cup, we can teach them how to cope using those same exact strategies, daily cumulative learning.